Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the Master of Hoppets, with another 2-for-1, that was 4, 2-for-1 of Nerdbrewing barrel-aged stouts that I got from Johan in Sweden. So thanks a ton to Johan for the beers. He sent me up until 12 or 13 or something in the series, which is awesome, so thanks a ton, man. We've been through up until 5 now, and we're doing 6 and 7 today. And it looked like just pouring these out that they've learned something, or Hannes had and the team at Nerd, because the first few ones were really damn good, but these just looks much richer pouring out. So will be interesting to see how these are. So we've got number 6 here, which is a Imperial milk stout aged in bourbon barrels with oats and of course lactose, since the milk stout on 12.9%, 60 IBUs. On original gravity of 1.154, that's really high. And I do not actually completely know, is that 36 or 35 Plato? I think it's something like that. Plato is my jam, that's what I know. And then we got this one, which is 07, which is, whoa, it's on 1.175 original gravity. I really need to check out what these are. Also 60 IBUs, 14.5% aged in Barbados and Panama rum barrels. This is an Imperial Oatmeal Stout. So, sounds good. Let's check out the weaker one first. So pouring out, this looks really rich. It looks like it's brewed for a barrel. It has like crazy lacing on the sides of the glass. And both of these were released in maybe a year or two ago. It's best before 26. I don't know when these were released. It was definitely not last year, I think. I think it was before that. I've had them for a while. But with no adjuncts or anything, I'm sure they're going to be good. But yeah, just pitch black. And the nicest, really dark tan looking head. So like coffee, espresso crema-like. It looks awesome. Let's check out the aroma on number 6. And thanks a ton, Johan. That smells really good. Really bourbon heavy, but you really see that it's been sitting for a while as well. There is a good amount of like port wine and like smoky tobacco-y nuances. Oh, it smells really good. Vanilla, fudge. It smells really rich and smells really robust. Like really like intense, roasty, licoricey, charry. Like it's not like the American like paste or like brownie batter bombs. It's just like heavy malt expressions and like heavy roast malt expressions, which is awesome too. It smells really good. Big time like charry barrel, like really charry bourbon barrel. It's not that heavy on vanilla and fudge. It's just like heavy, spirity, charry, like nuances. Again, licorice is standing out. There's a bit of molasses. Yeah, almost like salty licorice, like salmiakki. It smells so rich and really old money. And you also sense the oats in there. There's like a creamy oaty sweetness. It smells really good. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. Thanks a ton, Johan. Awesome mouthfeel, man. Oh, that's so rich. It's really old school, too. That's a great barrel-aged stout. That's really nice. Oh my God, Nerd is killing it with these. This really tastes like a beer brew. So much coffee on the aftertaste right now. Onrush of coffee. Like this is really nice. Like I really like the fudgy, really chocolatey kind of Imperial stouts, but I also love Imperial stouts like this that actually taste like Imperial stouts. Heavy roast profile, like really roasty burnt malt, heavy coffee, charry, woody, bourbon flavors. There is a touch of vanilla, especially on the back end, but it's like big time crazy fudge and whatnot. It doesn't say how long they aged this in the barrel, but I think I don't know. It seems like it could have gone even longer. The base beer is fucking dead on, especially if you like really roasty old school stuff. But it's also got some modern flair because there's also like heavy caramelly crystal malt type flavors. Like some fudge, but it's all being held in check with like robust malt, like roasted malt. Rich in mouth coating. Yeah, it's got that licorice, almost like salmiakki or sweet finish licorice too. Oaty sweetness, charry wood, molasses. There's a burnt note on the aftertaste. Yeah, it's like chewing on fresh roasted barley and like fresh chocolate malt as well. Really good, really good. The more I drink it, like I feel like the barrel drowns a bit. Like the base beer overshines the barrel, so it's really good. Like if it, like could also be freshness of barrels. That's the only critique I have. Like I want more bourbon flavor. It's mostly like a tobacco, charry, kind of bourbon flavor with hints of vanilla and whatnot. But that's a base for barrels. Really good. It's also acidic, like slightly acidic hard roast, but it's not too much. Really, really good. Great job. I love that it's so roasty. And it's impressive 60 IBUs. It's never too bitter. It's really high. And I think that helps balance out all the flavors in it. It's like how you used to do Imperial Stouts back in the day. They were quite bitter, especially if you did like the old school American stuff like Old Rasputin and like some of those, even though Narwhal. All those are, I think, definitely subpar to these or this. They're no way near as intense and rich. There's definitely a little bit of fudge. It's like a molassesy fudge thing. But let's jump over to the rum barrel aged one. Rum barrels are either make it or break it for me often. Often they can be a bit too weird and fruity, but sometimes they can also work really well. So let's see. This is an Imperial Oatmeal Stout. As I said earlier, 14.5%. And again, this also looks like a beer brewed for barrel aging. It's got rich curtains. It's really thick looking and black. It's got the same kind of really robust tan looking head. Oh my Lord, that's a swan. All the animals outside today, also in the earlier reviews. This looks really nice. Let's check out the aroma. Yeah, there we go. And I actually smelled this as soon as I popped it. There is a very pronounced rum character in this. It's interesting. It's almost like cola-like. It almost reminds me of a rum and cola type nuance in there. But it's interesting because it's more fruity and molassesy and raisiny, datey, figgy. And I think that's actually suits this base beer a lot. Because there's a lot of char, there's a lot of roast, there's that savory umami thing, and molasses, like heavy roasted malts, and like really like espresso nuances in this one, and that's in here too. But it suits this kind of base beer, that's for sure. But it's a much more fruity Imperial Stout. But it smells really nice. I'm really getting the molasses on the aroma. There's also a hint of vanilla to this one. Yeah, interesting. Almost like an interesting, like, yeah, tropical fruity vibe or something, like dried tropical fruit or something. Just very light. Like, almost like a small, like, candy, almost like a Blum Madeira type vibes or something like that. Like these chocolate-covered marzipan candies with a fruit filling and booze of sorts that you can get from Anton Bau in Denmark. There's a little bit of that in the aroma. It smells really good as well. Let's check it out. Cheers, and thanks again, Johan. Oh, wow. Holy shit. That's really freaking awesome. Jumping from this to this, what a difference. And also just the aroma. It's got so much fruity rum and caramel and fudge on the flavor. This is one of the best rum barrel-aged beers I've had in ages. This is really awesome. What the fuck? I did not expect that coming from the aroma. So it's quite sweet. It actually, what's interesting is if you look at the specs on this, this is a drier beer. It finished lower, but it feels sweeter and richer. That's really interesting. Heavy char there on the back. There's so much bright rum, but it suits this beer so much because of the fruitiness and dark fruits and umami and molasses. Like really fruity cola, dark fruity rum, vanilla. This is good, but I actually like the rum. Oh, this is really nice. Like really cigar kind of pipe tobacco like flavors on it too. I love the mouthfeels on these. Like this is something that I think people in Denmark are doing a lot of barrel aged stuff now, or releasing the first beers. This is something to learn from. You need these kind of heavy original gravities to make the beers stand out like this. They're so rich, but still have so much barrel flavor. Oh, that's good. Fuck me, there's so much rum. It's almost got like cinnamon vibes too, like festive spice and molasses and interesting weird, like again, not so much like tropical fruit I talked about in the room, but definitely Blumni Medea type chocolates. Marzipan dark chocolate with like fruit filling, because there's some dark fruit. That's really interesting. And what I love about it is like there's so many modern producers of these kind of beers that shy away from rum, because rum can be fruity, it can be very molasses heavy, it can be like, you know, tannic, and like it's not always the preferred barrel, I think, for a lot of modern producers. It's always bourbon, bourbon, bourbon. But this is going out on a limb and trying it, and it's magic. This is really fucking awesome. I'm really surprised by this one. I love it. I think, yeah, I can't remember the last time I had a beer aged in rum barrels that just worked as well. Really good. This is a 95. This is a world-class rum barrel aged beer. Maybe even a small 96. Like, it's one of the best, and it's so like old money with the heavy char, heavy roast, and all that, which is awesome. Like, I'm thinking like some of that, like the Doris kind of beers from Hop and Frog, maybe richer, maybe like a Doris, but richer, but not as like abrasive in roast character as something like Taurus or Quarus. It's something like Doris, Taurus territory, somewhere in between that. Both beers really are. But it reminds me of those kind of approaches to big Imperial stouts, like really robust, really intense and roasty and whatnot, which is awesome. I love that they also taste like stouts. But yeah, 95, 96 or something. This is the best rum barrel aged beer I've had in ages. And I wouldn't even, like, well, it'd be fun to treat this with coconut, for example. But otherwise, I wouldn't really treat it with anything, because I think it's just wondrous on its own. But let's see here with the bourbon. The base is there, it's rich, it's awesome, but I want more expressive bourbon characters that I'm used to from like really famous, like barrel-aged big stouts. But it's close as well. I mean, that's probably like a 93, maybe a small 94. It's really close to world class. Man, Nerd is like, no one, I don't see anyone talking about these in Danish forums, which is nuts, because this is fucking outstanding. Awesome. So yeah, if you guys had Nerdbrewing's Barrel Series 06 and 07, let me know what you thought of them. Get number 7 and get it now, because that is amazing. So if you guys had these, let me know what you thought of them. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And I'm going to say cheers in my favorite, and thank a ton to Johan for these, and the big surprise in number 7 there. And say cheers, and see you guys in another beer review.